The US military just carried out major attacks, and the people they just attacked says they're going to attack us back. And this actually could reach, or this actually could come back to the US homeland. I'll give you the details on that, as a lot of people are very fearful of this, and I'll give you the details on this. Also, Congress just reaches a major agreement that actually entails trillions of dollars. Yeah. And the US is under a polar vortex that actually entails every single state. You can, it's like the movie The Day After Tomorrow. Let's jump right in. It's literally crazy. It almost seems like the end of the world in one way or another. Can't make this stuff up. Let's jump right in. Thank you so much for liking these videos. Here we go. Okay, so the US military and or President Biden, whoever, has finally said we've had enough, or at least for the moment, and carries out new strikes in Yemen after Biden vows to keep the pressure on after the Houthi rebels, Iranian-backed militants, have just been hammering ships, and the US has been attacked over 100 plus times just since October in the region. US military strikes another Houthi controlled site after warning ships to avoid parts of the Red Sea. Take a look at what has happened.
We have late-breaking news. The U.S. carrying out another strike against Houthi rebels in Yemen, this time against a radar site, according to 2 U.S. defense officials. The strike conducted by a U.S. Navy ship, and now the U.S. waits to see if the Houthis respond.
Tonight, after the Pentagon says a punishing series of U.S. and British strikes destroyed more than 60 Houthi military targets in Yemen, the first sign of retaliation. The Iranian-backed militia saying they won't stop attacking ships, firing an anti-ship ballistic missile into the Red Sea, but hitting nothing. President Biden was pressed, what would he do if Houthi attacks don't stop?
We will make sure that we respond to the Houthis as they continue this outrageous behavior, along with our allies.
President Biden has been under pressure to act following months of Houthi attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea, through which the U.S. says 15% of global sea trade travels, including oil supplies. And some companies had begun avoiding the Red Sea, a costly disruption. Last night's operation included U.S. and British warplanes dropping bombs and U.S. Navy ships, including a submarine, firing Tomahawk missiles, more than 150 precision-guided bombs and missiles in all. The White House says they demolished Houthi ballistic missile launchers, ammunition warehouses, air defense radars, and more.
The targets we chose were all valid, legitimate targets that went right at the Houthis' ability to store, to launch, and to guide.
President Biden writing, the strikes send a clear message that the United States and our partners will not tolerate attacks on our personnel or that imperil freedom of navigation. But tonight, Iran, who supplies the Houthis with money, weapons, and intelligence, condemned the strikes, saying they are fueling instability in the region.
Do you have confidence in Secretary Austin? I do.
Meanwhile, President Biden criticizing Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin for keeping his hospitalization secret. Austin did not tell the president or the public for days that he was off the job and in intensive care for prostate cancer treatment.
Was it a lapse in judgment for him not to tell you earlier?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Hamas has said they will respond, as if they weren't initiating this stuff to begin with all this attacks there in the Red Sea to begin with, and all these attacks on U.S. military bases. It's just ridiculous. And we now have reports that Hamas working to orchestrate terror attacks worldwide, the IDF claims. IDF officials have compiled intelligence on international terrorist operations with the assistance of European leaders. Israel says it uncovered Hamas terror networks planning attacks in Europe also. And we now have at least speculation, because of these attacks back by the United States, will Hamas try to attack the United States back on the U.S. homeland? I mean, if you just put two and two together, it's a very plausible type of thoughts. I mean, we've had the FBI warning about attacks in the United States for weeks now, and Hamas is now saying that they're going to retaliate back. I mean, what did Hamas think? That we're just going to the whole world can't just let the Houthis just continue attacks there over and over and over. Now, you attack them back. The United States has been attacked over 100 times since October there in their military bases. Now the Houthis are going to retaliate as if their 100 attacks weren't enough. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. It seems like every few days we keep hearing about another data breach or a data leak where millions of people's information keeps getting breached or compromised or stolen. This is your information. This is the reality of our world today, with hackers and data brokers just looking to get their hands on your personal information. How do you know that your information can be safe? And, well, people really need to do something about it. Thanks to my sponsor, Aura, I now use Aura to protect myself and our family from getting our private information stolen. Aura is an identity theft protection company that monitors your personal information and protects it from hackers, data breaches, malware, phishing attacks, and other threats on your digital data. Aura continually monitors the web for your information and will send you alerts as soon as they find anything. And Aura can submit opt-out requests on your behalf to the data brokers who are already exposing your information. It's really easy to set up. You don't have to download multiple apps, and you get other things like a VPN, parental controls, password management, and more all in one service. So go to aura.com/itsjimmy or use the special link down below in the pinned comment or description of this video, and you will get 2 weeks free. It's a product I trust, so go sign up right now with the link down below. Congressional leaders have reached a short-term funding deal or spending deal to keep the government open until March. Some parts of the federal government were set to run out of money in as early as just a few days on January 19th. They still have to actually pass it with a vote, which could be a problem. The deal would keep the government funded until March, buying legislators more time to craft longer-term agency-specific spending bills following the agreement last weekend to set the overall spending level for fiscal year 2024 at $1.5 trillion. $1.59 trillion. The new agreement moves the upcoming government funding deadlines for different departments from January 19th to February 2nd to March 1st and March 8th. Of course, we're already going to have a lot of Republicans not happy about this. We've already had some Republicans saying that the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is already on a short-term lease. They're already saying they may start to consider kicking him out because he's not doing his job. And it really seems like this same old, because already nothing is getting done. They're doing a short-term resolution. They're not passing any bills. They're not governing. And, Republicans, and I'm not picking sides here, I'm just stating the obvious. Republicans said they were going to come in, they were going to do their version of change. They were going to, do what they wanted to do. They wanted to cut government spending, et cetera, et cetera. But now they're doing a short-term resolution, a CR. And where is it? Where is it? And this is why a lot of Republicans are upset. This is why, part of the reason why they kicked out the previous speaker, McCarthy, and now they're thinking about kicking out the current speaker. And they're showing that nothing is getting done. And here we are, we're less than a year away from the actual next, election. And now they're going to, kick the can down the road all the way till March. And remember, the next election is in November. I mean, by the time they actually get around to even passing anything, the next election will be here. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But if you're not going to actually get anything done by the time your 2 years is up before the next election, what's the point? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you're Republican or Democrat or in the middle. But this is just the writing on the wall. And it's an absolute nightmare out there if you're not counting all the other stuff we just went over. Almost every U.S. state is under a weather alert as storms sweep across the country. Flights have been canceled. Almost 2,000 flights were canceled on Friday alone. Severe winter weather and grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 disrupted travel. Weather delays the playoff game for the Bills and Steelers game announced by the governor. You can see the stadium there. That very rarely happens that I can remember, actually canceling a football game. I think that they were saying that the temperatures there were going to be 30 degrees below Fahrenheit wind chill. Yikes. Who would even want to go out in that weather? And of course, it always seems like, the games or the stadiums that are in the worst weather climates, like Buffalo and Cleveland and New England and stuff like that, they all have outdoor stadiums. It's like they're trying to punish their fans the most, right? The snowball games, right? It's just why wouldn't you think that these stadiums would have domes? It's just like the worst, right? Yeah, but let me know how the weather is where you are. Are you in a severe weather situation? I think it's supposed to get down to like 0 degrees here in Ohio. And who knows what the wind chill is going to be, because it's definitely going to be a lot worse than that. It's like severe wind out there. You can like hear it howling. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll keep you up to date with everything happening on a daily basis. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. Subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos. We were sick the last couple days, most of my son, and we just didn't get time to film. It was a nightmare. So most days we come on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications when we come on. Click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in my next video.